This is our first video for the Heart Box project for our woodshop class, and since it is the first part of the project, we're going to make a new project folder. Click Projects, New, Single User is fine. We're going to rename this Heart Box, Finish, and because we don't have a Heart Box folder, it's asking if it should create one. We want it to, so yes. And now this is checked. Anytime we go to save a part, anytime we go to save our part, assembly, drawing, anything, it will go into that folder. Let's start our 2D sketch. We're actually going to pick the top plane here. And I'm going to rotate this so my top is aligned the way it's supposed to be. Right click, I can pick my 2-point rectangle. This is going to be a little bit different than what we do in the wood shop. We're actually going to make these sides both 6 inches, which is how big the heart is. If you want the pattern for the heart, this is what to do. We actually use 1x8 boards and 2x8 boards, so the actual width is 7.5, but that's okay. Let's finish this off real quick, and we're going to extrude this. E is the shortcut key, by the way. You can click this button or just type E on your keyboard. I like using shortcut keys because it's faster. And this would actually be a 1/2 inch thick, but we're going to make it 0.375. We're going to use the planer in the wood shop to get it down to a thickness that looks better when we have the finished product. Okay, now that we have the square, we're going to make a new sketch on top. And we're going to sketch out the heart. Before I make the heart, let's go to project the geometry of this face. And by doing that, these lines turn yellow. Now I can use them as a reference. So I'm going to make a couple of circles on here. I want them to be the same size, so I click equal, circle 1, circle 2. And then I'm going to have them tangent to the wall on either side, tangent to this side and this side, and tangent to each other. That should center them up. I'm also going to make another circle right here in the middle, and I'm going to dimension that. D is the shortcut for dimension. If you don't want to click up here on your keyboard, D. Make this 0.125. Okay, this is going to give you just a little bit of wiggle room to cut this on the bandsaw. And I'm making it tangent to both circle 1 and circle 2. Okay, then I'm going to come up here and click line. I'm going to draw a line to this corner, from that corner all the way down to this point, and from this corner back to this point. I'm going to switch to my trim tool. So I was on line, so I right clicked and I said OK, and I right clicked again and said trim. I'm just going to get rid of the stuff that I know I don't need, which is a lot of it. I'm going to keep this part. Okay, and I'm going to finish my sketch. E is extrude, or we can just come up to extrude. And I am going to cut through this, but instead of 0.375, I'm going to change this to all. So no matter what thickness it is, it'll still cut through it. And you'll see why that's important in a bit. You'll also see, it didn't cut off this little corner here. So let's look back at that sketch. I guess I didn't tell it to. So I don't see anywhere on this sketch where that continues over. So this might be where I can use my extend tool and have that come all the way down here and add in a line from that point to there and there to there. And now let's go back and finish the sketch. Still doesn't look right, but now when I double click on extrusion 2, it should bring up some options for me. And it looks like it is confused. That's okay. Tell you what, we're going to delete extrusion 2, but not the sketches that go with it, and then try and extrude it again. So we can get rid of that part, and could have sworn I just had it. That part. And sometimes it takes a little fiddling around with it. It's important for you guys to see that this program can be finicky, but there are ways around it. There's ways to go back into your extrusions, back into your sketches, and fix things along the way. We're going to change this to all, so we can modify the thickness later. And we're going to save this as bottom and be done with this video.